silky smooth hair.
Oh, don't listen to him. Stick with me, your old junky water softener. I'm lazy, but cute.
There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Kinetico is the last water softener you ever own. Call us at 210-656-PURE. And right now, we'll give you a free reverse osmosis drinking station right at your kitchen sink.
Ooh, I'm tired. I need to take another break.
KineticoSA.com.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
In the NBA, according to KSAT investigative report, Dylan Courier, emails and texts reveal Spurs' private outreach to Austin Mayor as San Antonio prepares to vote on funding for a new downtown arena. Spurs spokesperson downplayed the communications between the team and Austin Mayor Kirk Watson, saying they're not relocation related.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me, however you may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in and listening live at sasportstar.com. Thanks to our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player for that. Or if you're watching our show live on YouTube, that's right, you can stream all of our shows live on YouTube. Just go there, search at SA Sports Star. Go ahead and like and subscribe while you're at it. You can comment along with the show as it happens, or you can feel free to call in the old-fashioned way, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you're always welcome. It is a hump day, but most importantly, it is a day where we start getting ready for the sports weekend. And in doing so, we're getting ready for all the games that are coming up and taking our final look back at what had happened. And the Morning Huddle this morning got the chance to talk with the head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies, Mike Elko, about what happened against Florida and that impressive win they had after they were coming off a huge win over Texas the week before, plus their upcoming game against the Arkansas Razorbacks, which will be one of the first games they've had away from Jerry World in a long time. And it starts a long streak of games for the Aggies away from home as they get set to ramp up SEC play heading up to Arkansas. And they were talking to them about everything from Arkansas and Florida all the way up to Penn State and the potential rumors there.
Let's go to the Buyers Barricade guest line to talk to the head coach of the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies. Coach Mike Elko joins us on the program. Coach, how are you today?
I'm doing good, guys. Nothing better than hearing the war hymn on your radio station.
That'll perk you up. Yes, sir. Rob insists that we play this every time.
Every morning. I love it.
That's right. Coach, you guys, it feels different. I mean, you haven't been here in Texas for a long time, but I've seen a lot of good starts by this Texas A&M program, but always felt like, well, this thing's going to fall apart. This thing's going to fall apart.
Speak for yourself.
I know. Well, listen, you're a battered Aggie. You know this too.
Coach told me not to have that anymore.
This does feel different. How do you feel about your team 6 games in? I mean, obviously 6-0 is great, but does this feel like a special team to you?
We'll see. I think obviously we're working really hard. I think we're getting good results on the field. I think we're understanding what it takes week in and week out to prepare the way you need to go out and give yourself a chance to have success. But it's a 1-week mentality, and we know there's a lot of football left to be played, and you got to take this thing 1 week at a time. I think the one thing that I will say in reference to some of the fast starts. I'm not sure that a lot of those fast starts had 4 wins over the type of competition that we've played at this point. And so that would be the one thing that I would just put out there for all the BAS guys out there.
I like the BAS syndrome. Coach, certainly with success comes the notoriety in your name being batted around. Thoughts on what do you want to put out to the Aggie faithful regarding the Penn State rumors that are going to start swirling here in the next couple of days or weeks?
Not a thing in the world. You're a week away from getting fired or a week away from leaving. Welcome to college football in 2025.
And radio hosting.
That's right. Yeah, same thing. Coach, your prior job at Duke was at a non-traditional football school. And, you know, you brought some success to that program that they had not seen in quite a while. And obviously, when you do that, there's a level of excitement that comes with it. What's it feel? How's it different being 6-0 at A&M than it was? I think you guys started maybe 5-1 your first year at Duke. What's the difference feel like when you're at a school that just lives and breathes football compared to where you were in the past?
Yeah, it feels like 10 straight games with over 100,000 people in your stadium. You know, it's obviously the passion and energy for Texas A&M football is kind of unmatched, and that's one of the reasons why we enjoyed being here as a defensive coordinator, and we're so fast to come back when the opportunity presented itself to be the head coach. We got the most passionate fan base in the country, and when we're having success or failure, honestly, but when we're having success, it's just great to see them truly get behind the team the way they do. And so it's been a lot of fun. We've had a really, really good homestand. We've had some tremendous atmospheres and some tremendous environments. And, now we got to take the show on the road and go continue to try to get results.
Hey, what's the best thing about hitting the road?
Probably just there's less things pulling on you on a game day weekend. You know, when you have a game day weekend at home, there's a lot of different things that you've got to get tied into and involved with. When you're on the road, you really have nothing to do but focus on the game.
When you get to Arkansas, Coach, I don't know if you've made a trip there yet, but when you get there, don't look at anybody directly in the eye, and don't let your players talk to anybody, because they'll have them working the carnival circuits in no time. So just be very, very, very careful when you get there to Arkansas.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay, fair enough.
Silence is enough, Coach.
Talk a little bit about this Arkansas team then, which is obviously without their head coach now, have certainly not met expectations this year. But is this team as bad as the 2-4 record with a fired head coach says they are, or are there still some good things about this squad?
Well, they're a top 20 national offense. They're averaging over 500 yards a game and just under 40 points a game. They got one of the nation's best quarterbacks. Obviously, Coach Petrino is a phenomenal offensive coordinator, and he's putting himself now to try to put him to a position to be the next head coach. And so this is his first game with this team back in Fayetteville. They went on the road and lost a 1-score game to Tennessee. They went on the road and lost a 1-score game to Ole Miss. And so, probably like every single SEC game you play, it's going to be a real challenge for us to go up there and have success.
How do you prepare for a Petrino team? Do you look at old film? Do you look at last week's film? Where do you draw any kind of conclusions as to what they're going to try to do from his new offense?
I think, I don't know that it's new because he's been the OC there now for a year and a half. And so I think the offense hasn't changed. I think where there's been a lot of changes has been on defense because they brought in a new defensive coordinator. And so you only have really a 1-game sample size. And so you just try to do as best you can with old film and old tape to kind of get your guys prepared as best you can.
A lot of positives came out of that Florida game. One that wasn't so positive was Le'Veon Moss. And it looked like that injury is, I'm almost certain he's not going to play this week, Coach, but I know he is from Baton Rouge and would love to be on the field against LSU down the road. Is this kind of injury where we could see him back after a week off, or is this a longer-term situation?
Yeah, we addressed that Monday in the press conference. He'll be out for an extended period of time, and it's a little bit too early to tell how long that'll actually be.
Coming against an Arkansas defense that up to this point, the rush defense has been absolutely atrocious. They changed in DCs. Your Maroon Goons are stepping up and playing great. How do you address? Does your running game change knowing that you have one of those 4, quite frankly, studs not going to be available? Are there different plays that obviously you're not going to tell me, but does your strategy change with a different set of legs that are running the ball in specific plays?
No, I don't think so. I think we have a lot of confidence in our backfield. You know, we knew we had a lot of depth in that room coming into the season. You know, Ruben Owens went for 142 yards 2 weeks ago, and you know, the offense didn't change much or look much different for him to do that. And so, you know, we got a lot of confidence in those guys, and they've been waiting for their turn patiently to get their chance to carry the load, and they're going to get that opportunity Saturday.
I want to give you a chance to talk about your offensive line because linemen rarely get the love. But I said the difference between A&M and Texas when you guys played Florida back-to-back weeks was one team had a porous offensive line and the other one was elite. Not a single pressure allowed against Florida. How much easier does it make your job when your offensive line is playing at the level that it's at right now?
Well, it makes my job easier, but I think it makes Marcel Reed's job even easier. You know, obviously having the ability to sit back and clean pockets and have the time that you need to look and push the ball down the field. I think all of those things matter at a really, really high level. And so, yeah, our offensive line is starting to play really well. It's a big reason why we've been as successful as we have been. We've got a lot of veterans up there that have played a lot of football, and you know, we thought that would be the case coming into the year, and it's been really good to see it play out that way.
You know, this season's been really marked by complementary football from your squad. When one side of the ball hasn't shown, the other one has really kind of stepped the game up. And by most accounts, we haven't seen a complete Aggie football game, you know, a success from the first till the end. Are you on pace to get where you want to go, or do you feel like, hey, man, we're happy to be here and we're playing great football teams with a big target on our back? What else do you expect?
Yeah, probably a little bit more of the second part of that. I think, you know, I don't know that for whatever reason we get judged to the same level as other people. Other people get wins and they're great wins. We get wins, and for some reason they weren't complete games. You know, I think we scored more points against Florida than anybody else has all year. And for some reason, I'm still answering questions about why we didn't score more. That just seems to kind of be media rhetoric these days.
About to start a 3-game road trip, as we discussed. How much confidence does it give you guys that you were able to go on the road already once and get a big win, particularly for a program that has struggled to find big road wins? Do your guys feel like going on the road is not as big of a deal as it used to be?
Well, we're 3-2 on the road since I've been here, and so that obviously helps. And we've got 2 SEC road wins. We've got a big win at Notre Dame, but we also know how challenging it is because we certainly lost 2 road games down the stretch that we wish we would have played better in. And so, anytime you take the show on the road in this league, it's a challenge, and we know that. And so, you know, we got to prepare the right way. We got to get in the right mindset. And we got to go out there. We got to play really good football.
3 straight weeks on the road. You know, you talk about no game day issues as far as you can focus on your team. How much does it affect your practice schedule knowing that you got more travel coming your way?
Not much. I think the way you get adjusted to this stuff really well. And obviously we're fortunate, you know, we fly right out of College Station, and I tell these guys, don't get used to traveling like this. You won't get to travel this conveniently the rest of your life. And so it makes it real easy for us.
How much like in-season stuff are you having to deal with right now that's not football related, that's like recruiting and things like that? How much of that stuff are you having to deal with right now, or do you get to just basically focus in on games and have your staff take care of that other stuff?
No, I think as the head coach and CEO of the program, you have to focus on the program at all times. Obviously, the majority of the attention is on the football side of it, but I don't think you can, in this day and age, I don't think you can ever not be working on recruiting, transfer portal, NIL, marketing your program. I think all of those things are 365 jobs. And so you try to find ways to compartmentalize it. You try to find time in the morning to hop on a radio station to make sure your name is getting branded out of there. You just do the things that you think help your program move forward.
We're all for that, of course, Coach.
Yeah, sorry
you would be.
Sorry to burn up your time. Okay, you got real stuff to focus on.
As I'm on the phone talking to you guys, and you're asking me if I have to do anything other than football.
But this is the important stuff.
There you go. We can take a hint as well as anybody. Coach, we appreciate your time, and good luck this weekend at Arkansas. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
There you go. That is Mike Elko, head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies.
Mike Elko joins via all our guests, the Buyers Barricades guest line. They provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. Elko in a great mood this morning, and as they head into Arkansas, you know, LSU on the horizon. Got to be careful not to look ahead. And I know they're deep with Reuben Owens and the stable of running backs that they have, but Le'Veon Moss is going to be what feels like a big loss to their offense and one of their primary playmakers on that side of the ball. And as they get further into this SEC competition, whether that's against LSU or Texas, or even if and when they get into the college football playoff, that's an injury that we wish him a speedy recovery, because that makes Texas A&M that much more dynamic. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Speaking of big wins, the Longhorns are coming off of one after upsetting then 6th-ranked Oklahoma. Now they are back in the polls, and Arch, does he have his groove back? Well, Bob Ballou of KITV joined the Blitz a little bit earlier today. We're going to discuss that with him. Coming up next here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Another episode brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but Prize Picks, well, I'll tell you what, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season. As the basketball season begins, Prize Picks is here for you. And whether you're a football fan, a basketball fan, or any kind of sports fan, there's always the games to be played. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash if you're a Spurs fan. More than victor all the time. Heck, it only takes about 60 seconds to make your picks, and you can turn those picks into cash. It feels so good being right. I told you about Wemby. Dak's on an MVP kind of run. I like the more thans with Dax all season long. On Prize Pick, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the Flex Pay, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the Power Play, up to 2,000x. No matter your play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's ALAMO to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
911, what's your emergency?
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month in San Antonio. 7 domestic violence calls happen every hour. The time to end domestic violence in our community is now. Step out of violence. You are not alone. Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even bad hair day?
Yep.
And tree branch fell on my car day?
Especially that day. Progressive has you covered 24/7 for your home and auto.
How about thought it was chicken, but it was tuna day? Or overnight construction outside my bedroom day?
Those days too.
Great, because that was each day this week.
Been there. Well, at least your home and auto are covered every day with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Calling all Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. Game day isn't complete without the right look, and the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has everything you need. Whether you're headed to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. Find game day staples like jerseys and hats to fan favorites like hoodies and jackets at any of our 4 convenient locations: River Center, North Star Mall, Ingram Park Mall, and Huebner Oak Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear only at the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger, and for those of y'all that are always wondering, when are you ever going to get let out of the glass box of fun? Well, I will be out this Sunday. That's right. I'm helping to get you ready for Cowboys and Commanders out at Twin Peaks Park North. Park North, the location of Twin Peaks. We're going to be out there. I'm going to have some swag and getting people registered to win tickets to go see All Time Low on October 26th out at the Boeing Center at Techport. Plus, Twin Peaks, just for catching game days with them, they're giving you a chance to win an epic Cowboys jersey. So come watch the games with me pregame out at Twin Peaks Park North this coming Sunday from 12 to 2. Let's hang out and have a good time, watch all the games. You're able to keep up with your fantasy because of all the screens everywhere on all the different games. And, of course, Texans don't play till Monday night. So get there early, get you a spot, and get ready for Cowboys and Commanders coming up that afternoon at 3:25. Earlier today, the Blitz with Jason and Joe, they were talking about Arch Manning, the Texas Longhorns. They ended up getting a big win over Oklahoma. Did it save their season? Well, they talked with Bob Ballou of KITV about the Longhorns win and what it means for them going forward, including one Arch Manning.
Defense was fantastic in that game, but how do you have that big of a difference? Because it didn't look like they could stop anybody at Florida, and then you come into this game against Oklahoma, and they just look like they played against Ohio State. What happened? What was the difference?
I thought defensively against Florida, I thought what happened was they got punched in the mouth. They played, that September schedule was 3 cupcakes and a bye week. It didn't really prepare you to go into SEC play. And I think they just kind of got hit in the mouth and it kind of stunned them. Like you're a boxer and you get hit and you're like, what the hell? I'm supposed to be winning this fight. And then you just keep taking punches and you're on the road and nothing's going right. Your offense can't figure things out. And it all just kind of went together. Malik Muhammad missed that Florida game. He comes back with 2 interceptions against Oklahoma. Obviously, if you put Malik Muhammad on Dallas Wilson in that Florida game, maybe things are a little different because of how well Malik's played this year. So there are things that I think you can point to. I think in the end, they just didn't play well against Florida, and they kind of said, hey, this is our challenge. Like, let's get better. Let's get back to who we are. And they stopped the run, which is the first thing you've got to do. And when you do that, it opens things up for you to do other things defensively. And they were able to get pressure on John Mateer, 5 sacks.
Colin Simmons started looking like himself again. Got some really good pressure from Brad Spence and Lance Jackson, probably some guys that Texas fans don't know very well. Brad Spence or fans in general probably don't know very well. Brad transferred in from Arkansas, and he kind of gets it. He understands SEC play. I walked by Lance Jackson. This dude, he's a true freshman. He's a freak. He's like, when I walked by him, I was like, that dude's 6'8", like easy. And you start getting that edge room is probably the best, certainly on the Texas team, but you look across the country, I mean, that edge room is really good. And when you get Colin Simmons playing like he can play, it opens things up that they can do defensively as well.
Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin, our Longhorn insider here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. After the game with the gold hat, when Arch put that on, it looked more relief than celebration. Yeah. What was different about Arch Manning, especially in the second half?
Yeah, I think, in the first half, the problem for Texas was they made the mistakes that they had been making. So they'd have a little bit of a drive, and then, I think they had 1st and 10 at the Oklahoma 22. They had a holding penalty. Then they had a 6-yard backwards penalty, and all of a sudden you're looking at like 3rd and 38. I mean, you're like, what is happening? Their first 3 drives, they had, I think their third downs were 3rd and 9, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 20, or whatever it was. So like they did all the things they had been doing wrong. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't do all those things. Well, they started figuring those things out. And I think when they realized we can run the ball with Quintravian Wisner, that's when things changed. I thought that 37-yard run in the second quarter, it ended up leading to a field goal, but I thought it was bigger for the confidence of that offensive line. Nick Brooks started at left guard as a true freshman. Now, I've said this forever. It's very hard for true freshmen to play college football. It just is. They're not built for it yet. They don't understand the mentality of it yet. Kelvin Banks was an exception to the rule. I mean, he was obviously incredible from the beginning, but Nick Brooks played his 3rd game against Oklahoma, this 3rd game of the year as a true freshman, and he started against Oklahoma, and by the end of the game, they were kind of running behind him. He's a guy that brings attitude, brings a little nastiness. He was running with Quintravian Wisner and kind of like had a big signal for a first down. If they can start figuring some things out to be able to run the ball offensively, that's going to change some things. And the running back room has changed pretty dramatically in the last day. And I know this is something you guys are going to be kind of excited to get into as well. But let me get to Arch first. I just don't want to forget about the running game because there's some things I think we need to talk about there. But for Arch, in the second half, I thought they were able to sustain drives. The throw that he made, they had scored a touchdown, but they got the ball back and they had the ball deep in their end zone. And he rolls out right as he feels the pressure coming. He throws a dot to Parker Livingston on the sideline. It was the best throw he's made all year. I thought it was possibly their play of the year. It got him out of the back of the end zone. They face another 3rd down. He throws a little screen to Quintravian Wisner, who goes 19, made some great moves in the open field, and they end up kicking a field goal on that drive. Those throws are who we think Arch Manning can be. His athletic ability, you saw it on the 29-yard run down the sideline at the end of the game. He was able to do some of the things that he does well, which is getting out of the pocket and making good throws. And I think when he starts to feel more comfortable doing that, that's when we're going to start to see this whole offense take a different turn as they move forward.
Well, look, Bobby, you know this, and everybody listening knows this. You got a good running game. It's a quarterback's best friend. And I think if you've got that and you're running the football well, it keeps you out of those situations that they were in the first half. So you mentioned the running back room, some new things. What's going on with the Texas running backs?
Yeah, so Jarrett Gibson decided to transfer. So he leaves the program yesterday, which is kind of an interesting situation. We talked to Sark 11 days ago as they're heading to Florida. Last year against Florida, Jarrett Gibson ran for 100 yards. He's a Gainesville native. He goes home. He doesn't get a carry. The running game struggled, but he didn't get a carry at all. This week against OU, he gets 1 carry, goes backwards for 3 yards, and he decides he's transferring out. So Jarrett Gibson's out of that room. C.J. Baxter, obviously the health of his hamstring is kind of the key focus for injury front right now. Until they get him back, it's Quintravian Wisner, and then what? You say, what are they going to do there? Well, Christian Clark's coming off the Achilles tear last year. He hasn't been as explosive as probably people thought that he would be. James Simon has looked nice as a freshman. But I'm going to tell you 2 things to look for. Number one, Ryan Niblett, who had the 75-yard punt return. He's been kind of playing running back and wide receiver. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to move him there. But I had someone tell me today, look for Michael Terry, the San Antonio Alamo Heights kid, to move into that running back room from wide receiver. Again, you guys know his athletic explosive playmaking and what he was able to do in high school. As a true freshman coming in, he's trying to find his niche. They're kind of set in the wide receiver room with the guys they have. This could be, and now again, there are a lot of guys in front of him, and CJ Baxter coming back would change that a little bit, but there's a chance for him to maybe show, hey, I can be an explosive back in this room. It may not be right away. It's probably not going to be this week or anytime soon, but if they decide to keep him here and they keep him in that room and they like what they see, that could be a path or an avenue for Michael Terry to see the field. So there's some interesting things going on in that room. What ends up happening, obviously, will be development over the next few weeks. I certainly think it'll be Quintravian Wisner and James Simon will be the first two guys that will get the ball when they head to Kentucky this week, but it'll be interesting to see how that develops over the next 6-7 weeks.
You know, seeing Michael Terry play a couple of times at Alamo Heights, and again, Ron Ritterman, he's just an incredible athlete. Need him at running back, you need 4 yards on third down, you hand it to Michael Terry, he gets you 7 or 70, right? But as a every down running back, I'm not sure. I mean, he's a wide receiver, but he's an incredible athlete. In the passing game, that could certainly be there. But going back to Gibson for a second, because didn't somebody else also leave the team? And is this that time of year where you see guys trying to preserve a year so they could redshirt because they haven't played enough games? How much does that factor into Gibson, A, not getting any carries, but also trying to save a year of eligibility by quitting now?
I mean, 100%. That's what this is. Will Stone, who handles kickoffs for Texas, also announced here, not announced, but they've taken him off the website as well. So he's transferring out. Both of them played 4 games, which makes the Florida game even more interesting for Jarrett Gibson going back home. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he came into the game on a 3rd and 1, and they had a false start, and it moved him backwards, and then he went back out of the game, and he never played another down. So technically, he didn't play. So he was able to come back and play in the OU game. I'm sure it probably would have happened after Florida in that case, but he had only played 4 games, and Will Stone had only played 4 games. So now they're able to redshirt, and then they can come back wherever they transfer and have that extra year of eligibility wherever they go. Now, that's something we've talked about a bunch. Like, how much will this actually happen? I know there were rumors around DJ Lagway. That was never going to happen, but there were these rumors of like, well, does DJ Lagway redshirt now if Florida's season's in the tank and they're 1-3, and like, does he say that's enough? That didn't end up happening, but that is certainly a concern, a thought, whatever you want to say for coaches now as they get into mid-October. If these guys have only played 4 games, they can certainly come in and say, hey, I'm going to make the decision. I'm going to transfer. I don't want to play another down this year.
That was Bob Ballou earlier today on The Blitz with Jason and Joe. You can catch that full interview at sasportstar.com. And interesting with the transfer out of running back Jarrett Gibson, and now the reports that San Antonio Alamo Heights own Michael Terry could end up finding himself in that running back room. And we've seen players move to that running back position and succeed for the Longhorns, Roschon Johnson being one of the more notable ones who had a big impact for the Horns. So it's going to be good to see what happens there moving forward. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. You can catch that full interview at sasportstar.com via the Buyers Barricades guest line, or via the San Antonio Sports Star audio vault powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. The Buyers Barricades guest line provided that interview. They provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. When we come back, we're going to take a look around the NFL as the games get ready to kick off tomorrow, as the morning huddle takes a little preview ahead at what's coming. We'll get into that, and RJ Ochoa and his thoughts on George Pickens, the defense, and can it be fixed? It's all coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
This college football season, the Crunch Time Hero of the Week is brought to you by PorkRinds.com, the nation's premier hub for pork rind lovers everywhere. Each week, a college player will post on Instagram, and each share over a 2-week period equals a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, which helps families who are dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Giving back with the perfect snack to celebrate those big Crunch Time plays. Find your rind at PorkRinds.com or find Southern Recipe pork rinds at H-E-B. We are in October. You know football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in all the action where you can make picks and win money here in Texas. Hi, Jason Minix here from The Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Love playing on Underdog because it's easy. Pick your favorite players, whether they're going to go higher or lower on predicted stats, passing yards, touchdowns, rushing yards, that sort of thing. Get all your picks right. Your entry turns green. You're going to win money. In fact, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the Underdog app today. Sign up with promo code STAR to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first, then buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportstar.com. Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm James Pleasure. Appreciate y'all rolling along with me tonight as I take you up till 7 o'clock where we'll bring you the Cowboys Hours. Brad Sham, Nicole Sheridan, they're joined by Cowboys defensive lineman Solomon Thomas, so stay tuned for that. And shortly after that, we have the Mike Elko Show for you with Andrew Monaco and Mike Elko coming up at 8 o'clock. Earlier this morning, the Morning Huddle starts taking an early look at some of this weekend's games to kind of see where we're leaning as we get ready for the football weekend.
We have reached week 7. Oh, my, week 7. We got a big one tomorrow, Rob, a big one.
Kind of is. You know, look at what Tomlin's record on Thursday night on the road. It ain't good.
Tomlin as a favorite usually ain't good.
Yeah.
Tomlin in standalone games on the road ain't good. Tomlin as a favorite is generally a bad thing. But Cash last week and this week he gets to go play against Joe Flacco.
It's not a pretty game on paper. I think it's going to be a fun football game.
The Steelers 5.5-point road favorites in Cincinnati. Total 43.5. God, these games are so atrocious.
If I'm Taylor, I'm chunking the ball, man. I'm throwing it deep.
Who cares what happens?
You know what I mean?
Right?
3 and out, I don't care. One of these, I got 2 good wide receivers. Eventually they'll get open.
I kind of think the over might be the play. Like their offense it wasn't completely inept in the Packers game. Like Joe Flacco moved the ball a little bit. Jamar Chase damn near had a hundo.
Yeah, I think I'd be throwing the football. I think they'll move it.
And I don't think the Steelers defense is very good. I still think they can be had. So yeah, I kind of like the over in that game. I honestly, I'll probably take the Bengals plus 5.5 just because it doesn't feel like a.
I know that 18 years of numbers pile up when you're talking about Aaron Rodgers, but he has traditionally been very good on Thursday night. I know when you're pulling numbers from 2007, okay.
But if Aaron Rodgers has been good and Mike Tomlin's been bad, what's that mean?
Yeah, I don't know what to take from this. I just feel like Pittsburgh's not going to have to do a whole lot to win the football game, but Flacco is a variable that I don't think they expect.
Rams and Jags in London, 8:30.
Good game.
Rams 2.5-point favorites. I like the Rams a lot here. Although I do want to wait and see what the health status is of Puka Nacua. I think if he's out, I'm less thrilled about it.
What about Jacksonville going home? There's no team more comfortable than being there than they are. I don't know how much that affects, but what if they'd have won last week? Would we be looking at this game a little different?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that I have a lot of respect for the Jags.
Too.
Like I really do, but I just think the Rams are one of the
best
top tier teams.
But I'm going to give Jacksonville a puncher's chance in this one. I think this is the kind of game that they could very well just win on just being more accustomed to being over there.
I will say, like from like a fan support thing. In Wembley Stadium, and I think that's where this game is in Wembley. And I've been to a game in Wembley where the Jags played the Texans. It was maybe 10 to 15% of the people there were wearing Jags gear. Like everybody else was like there was
they're NFL fans.
Yeah, it's like a menagerie of.
I will tell you this:
that
Jacksonville, they're not. Certainly there's fandom that's spread out, but Jacksonville is by default the British team because they're there every year.
Yeah.
So they do have more fans, but they don't know how to cheer. That's not going to make a difference. They don't know what they're doing.
And the Rams are used to playing every game on the road because they don't have a home field.
But I'm getting at it ain't about the fandom. It's more about they know what to do when they land. They know the hotel they're going to be in. They know what the routine has been there because they do it 2 times a year every year. So I do give them the benefit of been there, done that. And I think that might be worth a field goal. I'm not sure that's not enough to beat the Rams, but I do give them a much better shot than if they were playing in Jacksonville.
Raiders are at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 12.5-point favorites. The Raiders play the Chiefs tough every single year.
I don't know how. Has the sleeper awakened? That's the question.
It does feel like maybe they have, and they're getting Rashee Rice back, which is a big deal.
To me, it was the running game, man. They ran the football.
But also the Raiders coming off a win.
Yeah.
Now you get to play the Titans. You only get to play them once.
I kind of like the Chiefs here.
Okay. Saints are at the Bears in a game of teams that, well, at least they're trying.
Isn't this the perfect game for Caleb to have a 3 interception?
It sure feels that way. Sure feels that way.
Feels like he's imminent to have a game like that.
Bears are 4.5-point favorites in that one. The Dolphins are at the Browns. Someone's got to win this game.
I think McDonald.
Browns are 2.5-point favorites.
I think McDonald has a new lease on life, but that doesn't mean they gets a win.
You were saying you don't think Mike McDaniel is like they've got no interest in firing him. Apparently,
it doesn't appear that there's any rush to get rid of him. At least not now.
All right. Do the New England Patriots deserve to be 7.5-point road favorites against Tennessee?
Yes,
7.5.
Let's talk about what we've seen from New England over the last couple of weeks. They've got a legitimate, not just good quarterback. They got one that could be very, very good. They're holding on to the football finally. They're not fumbling the football, and they're playing a team that
is garbage.
Like
if we be in Buck, they ask.
Who's coaching?
We keeping a book right now.
You can give me a name, but
you know what? I know it's not Brian Callahan. It's probably a good thing.
Maybe that'll help, but I like the number here.
I will say also. Go look at teams coming off firing their coach. Usually you get a good effort.
A little bounce back. I'll give you that, but even with a bounce
back. The new coach bounce.
Cool.
Eagles at the Vikings.
Fun football game.
Philly 1.5 on the road. Give me the Vikings
This is
here.
going to be a fun game, man. I don't know which way this is going to go. Philly has to start feeling good about themselves. That might not mean beating Minnesota, but they're going to have to play better offensively to start to kind of work their way back into form.
Yeah, it just feels like the Vikings were just on bye, weren't they?
They should be ready to take on a Philly team that's really looking inward. Like, who are we? I think they've got a chance. I wouldn't be surprised to see a fair amount of points scored. I'll tell you that.
Vikings were smart enough to take their bye week after the London game, and
you're fools if you don't.
I don't know how you couldn't.
Possibly J.J. McCarthy returns into the lineup instead of Carson Wentz. That's going to be very interesting to find out. It's going to be a fun weekend because in the NFL, nothing is guaranteed. As much as we think, oh, this team's going to roll this team or this team's going to just hang 50 on someone, it doesn't always work that way. Take Carolina, Dallas, for example. We all had Dallas penciled in as a win there, and Carolina fought their ass off and won that game. And we see it week in and week out in the NFL. Nothing is guaranteed. You got to bring your hat every single week as a team looking to play, especially teams that have dug themselves holes like the Texans and Cowboys have. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back, speaking of those Cowboys, they got a game against the Commanders coming up and a lot of noise about what they should possibly do with George Pickens. We'll hear what RJ Ochoa has to say about some of that as he joined the Blitz a little bit earlier this afternoon. That's coming up here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at 3:25 p.m. The Cowboys are back home after a 2-week road trip, taking on the Washington Commanders. Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam. How about them Cowboys? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, My work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Joel, don't you just love Halloween? It's okay, but I do like your troll costume. I'm not wearing a costume. Folks, if your home's AC starts making those witching sounds or the pipes in your walls start moaning and clanging like ghosts having a party, call Quarter Moon at 651-5899 and we'll send our team of highly trained Ghostbusters. I was gonna say technicians. I ain't afraid of no clogs.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 2:30, the Aggies take on the Arkansas Razorbacks, presented by Just Spots. Pre-game at 1:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pleasure. Appreciate y'all joining me. However you may be joining me, and I know some of y'all joining on that YouTube channel, like Joshua Jimenez, who says, this season in the NFL has been so even. There's no dominant teams, and every team can win or lose. It's been crazy, and it has. And the fact that there hasn't been a dominant team just leaves it so wide open this year to where I understand Jerry saying they're still in it. I understand us Texans fans feeling like you just got to get hot. You got to get on a roll, get this offense going, because nobody looks perfect. Everyone looks beatable. And right now you could tell me pick team A and B playing in conference championship games on each side, and I could see it. I mean, the most dominant team right now, would you say probably has been Tampa Bay? It's been very interesting to say the least. And what the Kansas City Chiefs did to the Detroit Lions last week should put a lot of teams on notice, because it does look like they're starting to get their swagger back a little. They're getting Rashee Rice back this week. Reports are they're going to give him a full workload and force him the ball. It's going to be interesting to see, because it doesn't feel like any team's out of it. It feels like anyone, which is why Baltimore get hot and be there at the end of the year? Yeah, I could see that. Could Pittsburgh fall apart and fall back to the pack despite the lead that they have on the rest of that division? Yeah, I could see that too. This is really going to come down to how these teams get these wins in these close games at the end of games, finishing games properly. That's going to be the difference in a lot of teams' win-loss record and how things play out at the end of the year. And as always, it's that team that gets hot. Things just start clicking at the end of the year. And if you get hot and you ride that wave of momentum into the playoffs, that could be very, very big and beneficial for a lot of teams as we get down the stretch in the NFL season, because this season's going to be wild, because outside of teams like Tennessee and maybe Arizona, you're not writing a whole lot of teams off this year. Probably Las Vegas is another one you can kind of push to the side a little bit, But for the most part, could you see San Francisco getting healthy and going on a run? Absolutely. Do you see the Rams turning things around and getting things going? Sure. Seattle looks really good this year. The Jacksonville Jaguars, much better than people expected. And they're going to expand Travis Hunter's workload on offense. Could that open up that offense some more and make them more dangerous with the defense that they've been playing down there in Saxonville? And of course, Baker. He's your front runner for the MVP right now, in my opinion. He's been the best player in football, and he has led his teams to victories despite injuries. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Don't forget to call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what people are going through in life. Catch Rob and Vic tomorrow morning on the Morning Huddle. No AJ, of course. You got Jason and Joe on the Blitz, and I'll be back with you and get you ready for Thursday Night Football as the Bengals take on the Steelers. That's all coming up tomorrow right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voice